Hey guys, it's Aiden, and right now I have with us a Ford Ranger Lariat. This one today is the Lariat with the sport package, and it has a towing package on it. Today this Ranger is equipped with the carbonized gray metallic color, which is pretty nice. It pops to the sun. It makes the car look nice. We have LED headlights, and then we have LED tail lights towards the back. And going on, just to go over some of the badging all over the car, you do have the big Ford badge in the front that they have in almost all Ford trucks. You have the Ranger badge on the front, and this color, the grille is actually painted in the same color as the rims are. That's just metallic gray. You have the couple Ranger Lariat badges all over the side, and you have the signature Ford keypad. I don't know why they wouldn't put this in the door, but they do have it on the door just in case you ever use it. You have sport badging all over the side too, and you have the signature Ranger badge going across the back of the car. And if you look closely here, you do have a blind spot sign on the car. This car has BLIS. It also has adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, brake assist, and all that great stuff. So basically, you could find a way to make this car drive itself. And let's go ahead and look under the hood. The way you do that is you just open the door, come down here and press the hood release, pull tab. There you go. Oh great, this one actually has gas struts. All right, so this is the 2.3 liter EcoBoost inline 4, makes 270 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque. Yes, this is the same one that's in the Mustang, and the one in the Mustang makes 310 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque. But that's all Ford thought this vehicle needed. Very roomy engine bay. I believe personally they could have fit a V6 in here. The twin turbo 3 liter EcoBoost probably would be badass for this car, but you know, it's too bad we don't have it. To move on, the bed is 5 feet. This one is also painted on the inside. It's not plastic, so that's pretty nice. And if you ever need to plug something in, you do have outlets right here. Moving on to the interior, you do get leather upholstered seats in the back. You go back here, you have non-automatic windows. You do get nice chrome bits on the door handles and around the door lock. On the outside, the door handles along with the keypad, you do have lock and unlock with the button. You do have halfway bottom adjustable seats and lumbar support. And if you want to do reclining, you have this little lever back here. So here you go. You do have your speedometer in the middle. This part over here is very customizable. You can do your tachometer if you wanted to do a tachometer, display speeds, tire pressures, distance till empty, and then right there you have your tachometer. Over on this side, you have your basically entertainment navigation systems. If you leave there, you have your navigation and you have your phone, so you can see all that interesting information if you're interested in all that. I personally leave it on entertainment. You also get stuff like the time, the weather, and the direction you're pointing. Down here, you do have the automatic cruise control with the radar. Over here, you have volume. You have syncs, voice commands, volume mute, and then skip, and then you have hang up your phone and everything like that. Over here, you come over here. Here is your basically your entire sync system. This is sync 3. I'm not going to go into everything. If you wanted to do anything with the car, it's in this screen. This has ambient lighting, which is also controlled through the screen and everything like that. Then your center control stack, you come down here next to your gear lever, which has your up, down, shift buttons. You have your heated seats, dual zone climate control, skip, play, all that great stuff. It looks actually fairly clean for the amount that they were able to stick on here. Your other buttons down here include your auto stop start, towing, parking sensors, and traction control. This is rear wheel drive, so turning off traction control could be a hoot. Over here, if you look over here, Ford puts their lane keeping assist on the turn signal stock. Isn't that, and that's, you may find that to be interesting, you may find that to be fun. I personally, you know, I'd rather have it somewhere else. You know, you could put it down here next to the light controls in case you don't want to turn this off or turn it on accidentally when you don't want it on. To continue, you have two 12-volt sockets down here, and then your gear lever, which is pretty decent looking. It does not have an electronic parking brake though. This is your parking brake. It's just a standard hand brake. And then your glove box, which is also decently sized, a little on the small side compared to something like an F-150. That's basically it for the interior, guys. You know, this truck, for being smaller than an F-150, you still do, I feel, pretty tall, you know, pretty tall up. There's a Tacoma in front of me, and the Tacoma is actually shorter than this one, though it is an older Tacoma, so I guess you can't compare it. My first impressions of driving this thing, that it is pretty, the seating position I'd say is pretty comfortable. The seat's pretty comfortable. The steering wheel is has everything you need on it. Nothing, it's not all wonky. I do wish though that there were volume rockers instead of buttons on it. That's the only thing. They make the lane keep assist on and off thing pretty weird as well. It's on the column for the turn signals. That 2.3 liter Ecoboost, 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. It gives, I mean, this car doesn't feel bad. The engine could make more, but if you wanted it to make more, I'm sure you could push it. But I'm not sure you'd have to be able to get your use out of this. This tows 12,500 pounds, so it does have the ability to do some towing. The bed capacity is only 1,800 pounds though, so while it can tow a lot, it can't carry a lot on its own. So the steering feels very truck-like, very light, very easy to get around. I mean, you could turn this thing with just your pinky. For technology's sake, I mean, this thing is pretty loaded. It has a bunch of driving aids, lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring, auto braking, adaptive cruise control, which is pretty nice to have in this day. The MSRP of this truck is $40,000. To have all that for $40,000, you know, I wouldn't call that a ridiculous price. I think that's a pretty good price. I'd say the driving of it feels normal. The suspension is a little floaty. I think over every bump, you know, there's such thing as too harsh and then too soft. This suspension is a little too soft. I feel kind of like the truck's gonna bounce up and down out from under me. So, but that's all I have to complain about. The brake also seems to require a larger amount of brake force, a larger amount of foot pressure to get it to engage. And that's not due to the fact that it's got bad brakes. The brakes on this thing are fine. It just, there's a bit of a space in between when your foot initially hits the pedal and when the brakes pressure is actually applied. There's that space in there that can, if you don't know that space is there when you go to brake for the first time in this vehicle, and I'm guilty of it, the car won't slow down properly. You have to really put your foot into it. But other than that, I mean, pickup on this thing is pretty good. That 270 horsepower is really put to good use, and it's brought on. The torque is brought on pretty quickly with the turbocharger. That 2.3 liter, which is also in the Ecoboost Mustang, that builds boost decently fast. Like I said about the suspension floating right now, it kind of feels like the truck is going this way and the wheels are staying right where they are, and it's kind of freaking me out. It doesn't make the car undrivable, it just makes it feel weird. I think there are some improvements that need to be made. I think the F-150 feels a little more solid. The suspension's not as soft, the braking is not as it doesn't require as much pressure. It's more heavy duty. Of course, you can get the Power Boost V6, you can get a hybrid V6, you can get an Ecoboost twin turbo V6, or you can get the same 5 liter V8. You get tons of engine options, tons of options. This one being two-wheel drive and not four-wheel drive, having all its power. Just go to the rear wheels. Fun fact, if you take your eyes off the road with the adaptive steering on and everything like that, it will actually beep at you until you put your hands back on the steering wheel. The Fusion Hybrid I drove a while ago had that, and I was thinking, oh, it'll just keep itself in lane. And oh, it did keep itself in lane, but it gets really mad when you start taking your hands off the steering wheel, and it knows when you're trying to let it drive itself. But overall, I think this is a good light truck that can be used for many purposes. I just wouldn't say for heavy duty towing, I wouldn't say for off-roading or anything like that, but this truck has its good uses and purposes. It makes really good power. Don't let anyone tell you that 2.3 liter can't do something. That EcoBoost inline 4 can do a lot. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. This is the Ford Ranger Lariat. It's a great truck if you're looking for something mid-size. I mean, it definitely holds its weight in its class. It looks great. I had someone drive by and say nice truck to me. So if you are interested in something like this, this would be a great truck. But if you do want to off-road it, I think that this truck could be so much better at off-roading if you get the off-road package that gives it four-wheel drive and everything like that. Everything you need to basically allow this truck to off-road. The engine is not going to be your bottleneck with that, especially on this truck. It's going to be your drivetrain, but that's okay because you can spec this with four-wheel drive. So if this had four-wheel drive, this might be perfect for off-roading if you wanted something not super big. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Ranger, and I will see you all in the next video.